Hello everybody, Kristoffer Schenström here. If you're interested in getting to know composers and artists behind the music that we love and adore, check out my podcast, Gameable Audio. And with that said, let's head back to the classic and deep cuts over at Rhythm and Pixels Radio.
All right, I'm back again on Tuesday, early on Tuesday. So the last case 2 that we did for Ace Attorney, took like 8+ hours to finish because it just went on and on and on. So I don't know if that's a precursor for what the rest of these are going to be. I don't know if every single case here is going to be 8 hours long to go through or not. However, I have extra time today, which I'm a little bit late, but you know what? I had a very good reason to be late. Not a very good reason, but it was a worthwhile reason to be late. So I'm a little bit late, about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes late. Well, not that much. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be starting the third case of the second half. We're finally going to, so we'll probably get the set dressing and get everything ready. No, Stormpike, there has been data mined a new jewel crafting plan that's supposed to give 9 arcane to rings instead of only 6. So I was farming the new zone with a couple people, seeing if it was a random drop. We farmed a lot. It did not drop. It might not be from the mobs, but at least I have a shit ton of rep items. So that's why I'm a little bit late. I was helping them out at that last little bit. And I got kind of into it too because it was kind of really fun just blowing everything up. Anyway, so we're here. So what I'm going to be doing here is, considering how long these stories go, I'll be starting the... we'll be starting the beginning of the case number 3. We are going to get the setting all set up and we're going to move on. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 hours or if it's like 3 hours, or I don't know when the natural in-game breaks are going to be, but I'll probably go for maybe 2 hours, a little bit longer maybe, depending on what it is, and we'll set the story up, and then I'll be back again my normal time. Or I guess I really can't say normal time since I don't actually stream that much at my 7 p.m. time anymore, only like 2 days a week, and I had to skip yesterday's timing of it. So more of like the original time will be at the 7 p.m. So that'll be in a couple hours from now. But I'll start the beginning of the case here, take a break, eat some food, and then we'll come back at my original time, and we'll probably do like another 4-hour stream anyway to get at least 2 more layers in. And who knows, maybe 6 hours will be enough to finish this whole case. I doubt it. It's probably going to be 8 hours like the last one. But let's get Ace Attorney moving, because I do have some other games that I have planned up that'll be coming. Like I know I have a little bit more Skyrim I'm going to be doing, some more Mega Man, and I have here a very, very legit Switch that's definitely here, and it definitely does not have, and is definitely real Switch. Should have a thing for Etrian Odyssey 4 in there, if I can find it. So I definitely will be able to load Etrian Odyssey 4 and stream it soon. We'll be on the docket as well, since honestly it's been quite a while since I played the first one, and I didn't like the second one. I really didn't like the second one, but you know what? I think it might be about time to do another one of those. Anyway, we're gonna pick up with Ace Attorney right now. Oh, that's why it's there. It's on my yeah. It's on. Oh, that's why it's not showing up on my. Oh, that's why I have to find the file. I have to get a completely. I mean, what? I mean, I'm gonna have to get my legit other console and stream it on that. Definitely, that's what I'll be doing. Definitely. So I have one half of it. I don't have the other half because I have to find, wink, wink, my 3DS and the appropriate streaming cables. Wink, wink. Did I wink hard enough? Fuck, maybe they don't know. Gotcha. Yeah, you don't want to be a policy wonk. I'm going to say continue, and where's it going to start me? Oh, it is starting the investigation of episode 3. Okay. The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Episode 3. It even has a classic laser beam. I love it.
Great Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Ooh, is this going to be an investigation one?
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Okay, this one might be the investigation only. We'll find out.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people. The weather is
Hey, how dare you read
fine,
these
and
lines
we're
for
about
me?
to witness a
I
most
mean,
extraordinary
new voice unlocked.
scientific experiment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
No, that's a classic laser beam dog.
Will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity.
Oh shit, are we doing Chrono Trigger?
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of
Oh, I know where this goes.
calculations
All right.
exactly as it
I'm
was
ready.
before.
I'll make sure not to eat the sandwich this time.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
Oh, is he gonna go splat?
Yes. Woo! Yes.
I have a feeling this guy's going to be all over the next case, and I really want him to be gone. Don't give me a worse Mr. Natsume. Please, dear God, don't give me a worse version of him. 22nd October, 9:36 a.m. Sholmes' Suite.
Runo, are you listening?
Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris?
Huh, what's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Yeah, I kind of hope if he does go splat, then I'll be very happy. I don't have to deal with another one.
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Oh! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I, thought you have known I was here. You know, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with one simple observation. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it can be deduced, therefore, that. Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look quite like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems more down in the dumps than me.
I know, and the great exhibition has opened. You think you'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to. Of course I do. But I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from? Is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at London Pawnbrokery turned out to be one of the part of much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord? I will decide upon your fate in the following consultation of the trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and studies, so that's what I've been doing.
You have, haven't you, Runo?
Okay, so here's what I think is the funniest. Studying law, considering that the way that this courtroom works, you don't bring up, like, previous cases. You don't try to show that, like, oh, in this case, the judge ruled this way on it. You know, like, you're not trying to show precedents. So why do you even care about courts of old, trials of old? Like, who cares? Like, it's meaningless. All other trials don't matter unless it's apparently the one right before this one where the same person being tried for the murder is there. Well, you see, in this case that we did yesterday, Judge, the victim is now the accused. Oh, well, I see. Oh, I'm glad that you knew this one. Oh, good job you studied. The only thing we need to know on the for British trial in this one is basically the fact that once the jury makes a decision, I can ask them and fuck with them a little bit. That's basically all I need to know. Everything else is like, whatever.
Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes' old case.
Brewing Iris' special blends of tea. fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court in Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Yeah, because I got banned from being a lawyer because one of my very first client literally cheated and lied and fucked around with the evidence and got me to get him off. So that's unforgivable that my client completely and utterly fucked with the system and got me caught up in it. How dare I? How dare I? I should have known he was guilty all along. Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to be the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that sitting around here. The whole of London has been swept up in a great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down? Do you mean those things? Fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air even have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand that at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday. Apparently there was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here? Every page of this paper carries some article or other about the great exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. The Great Exhibition newspaper has been entered the court record. Shadows cast behind? Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must go to see it properly before too long. First test of a matter transporter device. 10 pages, 1 penny. The Reaper attack. Ooh, someone attacked Van Zeeks? Interesting. So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on here. Other than that rather gloomy looking one, that is. You mean the Lost Cat? Yeah, the Lost Cat is pretty gloomy looking. I mean, oh yeah, Van Zeeks attacked. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Runo?
The Reaper attacked? That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know way more than does he know way more, I wonder? It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Valley, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes, Prosecutor Barak Van Zeeks. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever is in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, playing sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of the criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed at tomorrow morning's edition.
Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No. I can't wait till tomorrow. In that case, we shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shush! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please, you mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual whom you're about to be making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. Well, I must be leaving now. Yeah, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. The thought hadn't even crossed my mind. But now I'm kind of wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door. Oh, that's new.
Alright then, Runo, let's get going.
Oh, Iris? What are you wearing?
I have to change into the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Alright, fine. Just go with a weapon. Would you?
Of course, and after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to the Great Exhibition.
of October, British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here, but some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. When Sasato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Ah, I understand you wish to speak to me. Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you have arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while, my apologies. Oh, no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in his grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the great exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. In other words, your old assistant and her father will be coming. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it.
Yeah, he only has mail. He's not Plate Strongheart.
As we're in the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Ah, well, thank you for agreeing for the meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, as it happens. Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it. I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work at the court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand that it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to end the courtroom again.
Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah? Ugh, here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on the study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Sogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense.
Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions.
Do you mean...
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain.
I'm a lawyer! Again. Thank you so much. That's wonderful news, Runo.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please tell me more. You described it as a curious affair.
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. Its professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of a finger?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care.
Whatever the serious accident was exactly, it clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an inventor, well-known figure of society. Ah, that's what happened to him? He exploded in this game? Ah, okay, that's what happened to Asman. I wonder if he hit his gold somewhere. A large explosion.
A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain, who was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is a very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition. A science experiment gone wrong? And murder? I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely. Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh? With Lord Van Zeeks, how? All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It doesn't seem as though thorough criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? It does seem a thorough criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly!
Ah.
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as effectively as possible. And it definitely has nothing to do with all the giant factories and all the working poor and the slums that we have hanging out over here. It definitely has nothing to do with that. We just need better enforcement. Trust me, it will work this time, guys. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing.
Ah.
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly. It's extremely alarming.
Ah.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. All I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claims. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail every one now. What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. It was ellipses. More ellipses. Ellipses again. An infinite amount of ellipses later. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division with Scotland Yard. TLDR, I want forensic science, and I like it. That is my mission. Oh, right. Yes, that's wonderful. I can't wait until I'm either defending you or you're the prosecutor and I'm going against you for the final case. Or you're just dead and now I'm doing the trial about how you died. It's one of those. You're going to be there somehow. I don't think defendant. I think he would be like a prosecutor going against me. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look.
What's that? What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, was it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain? Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration. That demonstration was... That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. The lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. I may have to do a different voice for him. This might not be that good to sustain for a while. It's like very back in the nasal cavity to pull from this one. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave me for a while. And I can't really do a German accent, sadly, but... you mentioned the demonstration yesterday. Hey, welcome back, Pretzel Bros. So you mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he?
Oh, well that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to kill him, so I got it right. I remember the name, yeah. One of the few YouTube chatters I get anyway. Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You lost me. I saw with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Aspen was spontaneously disassembled. Well, until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. But at that point, he should have had beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Aspen in fact perished. Yeah, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So, what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Aspen was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder.
Thank you for the like. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But... Murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see.
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Oh, yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder,
Then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. Yep, have fun with your exams, Pretzel Bros. Well, have fun with them. Do good on them. The machine must be protected at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole accident showed to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Sorry, this entire incident is to be shown as an accident. Ah, I see now. So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition showground yesterday. Yes, or rather, though, the devil's in the details, strictly speaking. There was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
you were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Can we get that to like SHVIK? Suvik? Can we change it to Suvik, please?
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis.
Which I think the actual problem with that is the reassembly.
Like it's going to be hard to disassemble it.
But I think the hard part is the assembly, where you have to put every last little, because the way electrons and shit are moving around in the atoms that make up your body, it's incredibly hard to make sure that they're put back exactly where they're supposed to be and don't mess everything up. I know in Star Trek they made up a fake device that fixes that issue. I forget what the problem with that's called, but yeah, I think that's the issue. To reassemble somebody, you have to literally put every atom back exactly how it's supposed to fit and not fuck up. Because if you start fucking up atoms placements, now you're just killing people. Whoops, we forgot to attach the hydrogen atoms properly. Whoops, we just replaced elements in your body with something else. We put too many electrons in there. Rip. Aw, fuck. Oh, we took some of the protons out of your iron and we stuck it in the... and we stuck it somewhere else. Whoopsies.
Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in a cell, the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again.
Well, yes, that would be incredible.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theater, say. A Parisian theater, say. The possibilities are endless. The world of our vast planet would be within reach.
So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days?
Huh, I really don't see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
No, I can confirm having a couple runestones that teleport you to the opposite ends of the Earth just makes it a bit more fun and not time wasting. The world still seems pretty huge. I mean, what? Who said that?
My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean?
Oops, that got Professor Bunny Brain really worried by the looks of it.
Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose.
The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money? Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes.
Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known inventor, Mr. Esmond.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asmund, was it? What exactly was your relationship with the man?
He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars.
I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then?
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
Well, as far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Oh, really?
An archangel even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research and for the British government. Mr. Esmond provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications.
But then, your dreams were blown into dust by one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owe everything to Mr. Asmund. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Are we running the Shomes in here again? No? Okay. So either it wants me to find something to actually click on, or maybe just go to the one spot we haven't gone to yet.
I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruhodo's Anything Consultancy opening for business again.
That's not what it's called. It's Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. I've done a lot of studying in these past 6 months regarding law, text, and judicial precedents. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer. All right, cite one precedent. Use one precedent that will be used in a court case. Guess what? It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's useless. Not how this court system works. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again.
Nothing's changed here at all, though, has it? It's as though the time has stood still here since Susie went back to Japan.
I wanted to keep it ready for Mrs. Sato in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I've just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see. Right. And there was me thinking it's because that you And there was me thinking it's because of the way you are, Runo. Lazy as fuck. You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris, this isn't the time or place to be bringing up my tidiness. Or a lack of it. That's it. Okay. Am I supposed to, like, present him the newspaper?
How could this have happened?
You must feel awful. As well as a man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too.
I know what happened. It must have been that.
That?
The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters in the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings to much change. But I instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now. It's divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is.
For a scientist, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. Okay. I thought we were gonna be like going back to him and saying we'll take the case or something, but
Oh, I just had a great idea.
what is it?
We could hide inside these suits of armor and spy on the Fob Watchmaster to find out what he's really like.
I don't have much interest in Lord Strongheart. It's really like though.
Oh, please, it would be fun. We could be inside the left one, and I'll go in the right.
You really want to have a go in a suit of armor, don't you?
Huh. Now you're making fun of me because I'm a child, aren't you?
I wasn't making fun of you at all. I'd like to have a go too. So is it really I have to... I'm waiting for Sholmes to show up somewhere. And be like, aha, I'm here. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? Ah, okay. To talk about what happened to Van Zieks, I had to show him the paper. Okay.
The report of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well. If it interests you.
It does, strangely.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. What was he attacked though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Large sums of money?
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely?
The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asmin. Mr. Odie Asmin.
Did you say Asmin?
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Unbelievable. So that's how he got Dr. Hairbrain all the money and stuff. It was ill-acquired gains. I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart?
Try me.
Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with a mysterious end outside the courtroom. And fearful of the fate, they seek to strike Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly wrong on here. Something's clearly going on here.
I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution's service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the ways so many of them died if not by someone's hand? I didn't say by someone's hand. I said by his hand. I'm the one that kills them all. I'm Batman, motherfucker. Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite something. The meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh, yes. Where would I find Lord Van Zieks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right. I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Hairbrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Let's see, did we mention about his criminal past to Hairbrain? No, okay. Second of October, prosecutor's office.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, it appears so.
Brr, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that? That hooded figure was so still, I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you doing here? He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished or something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh? That's my apprentice. He's still sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. He's very able in combat. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack of the Reaper that was reported in the papers? I like how he says the Reaper, like, it's like, you mean the attack on you? The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. It's you, obviously? Assuming that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our greater courtrooms. Alright, this is a brand new place finally, so I will examine it. Nice pick you got there. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zieks' facial features. Because that's probably not him.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think. Ah, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? Yeah, it's your dad. Alright, you get it. Or maybe your brother. Who the fuck knows?
Oh, look, it's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket.
Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid.
Ah,
You Nimpolese have no business painting others so obviously reserved.
Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overheard that. Lord Van Zeke's desk. Look, it's so stylish.
and that's a marble chess set behind it.
Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lord Van Zeke sometimes. To a bout of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that in your own at home.
Look at the fine collection of hollow chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. He breaks like 4 of them a trial case, so he must have lots of them.
My hollowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around the court like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes.
What? You're blaming me for this.
Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisan's work you defile.
So, it's my fault?
Silly me, how could I ever have thought otherwise? It's my fault that you keep winning these cases. How fucking dare you? You are stupid for winning. You should be dumber.
Look at all those ancient casts lining the wall there.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them dead, do you?
What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of vintages.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Bruno and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't, if you hadn't invited yourselves into my office to talk nonsense within my earshot.
We're trying to bring fun and levity to your place, Mr. Reaper. What's your problem?
It really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead?
If he was dead, Bruno, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead.
Lord Strongheart said that there was an assault last night at some sort of revenge attack?
True. Carried out by henchmen of Old Yasmin's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably, some hoped to kill me before that happened.
Odie Yasmin.
He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhanded means via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was the most unusual cause of death.
I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asmund died when he demonstrated on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion.
Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Bruno? I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him. Oh, yeah, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Hairbrain. Yeah, that's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. I'm prosecuting him tomorrow. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. You were...
What?
I understand that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though. Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that is all.
So, you were students together?
I was in the faculty of law, of course, and he in science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I have not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Ugh, only I make it out of this office alive.
He's actually been charged with murder, it seems.
Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me.
By you? Oh, god damn it. Come on, man. You gotta stop riding my dick like this, alright? Like, come on. I've beaten you every time. You gotta just take the fucking L and let someone else do it. But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends.
We are friends, it is true.
Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking?
What do you mean by by what you said before?
You'd like to know the Reaper's true identity?
What does that mean? I am a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Except for the one guy who went back to Japan. He's not dead, unfortunately. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that other trial the last time. I mean, whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who go without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them.
But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example.
No, haven't you seen him and done his things? I even have some members of your chat saying he should die, so I must be correct with my assumption.
He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny, in fact. She's never so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, is at the hand of their own kind. It is not my work.
Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Valley, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Oh.
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives.
So you are Batman.
What do you mean? Do you mean to say? I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor.
But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Lord Van Zeeks, I don't believe you're mortal. You're obviously a vampire. What is this bullshit? Alright, and your apprentice is just gonna not do anything. And he's gonna be, is he gonna be our, Also, there are bats here. He is a vampire. What? They were bats?
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then.
So this really is just Batman at this point. Van Zeeks is Batman. Robin's over there in the fucking corner.
Ah, I am the symbol of fear that keeps people from doing crime. It's just Batman. But he's a vampire. I think the familiarity is more likely. Scary though, by the way. Oh, true. If he's Dracula, that's death. Yeah. So, Van Zeeks, what is a man? By okay, that would be funny if I asked him. If one of his voice lines was actually asking him what a man is. What else haven't I done then? I'm pretty sure I examined most things. And there's no showing him anything. Oh wait, no, there's present. Never mind. Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes, it seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you. It seems. And I think it's the same man who's with you as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. Though you could say, he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Bruno.
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with the great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. But why would you agree to take such a clearly suspicious individual? Lord Strongheart orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There would be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. It's me. I didn't actually die on the trip from Japan. But I don't remember who I am. But they've been using my immense legal knowledge to do this. And I'm wearing the mask so you don't recognize me. Haha. Ah. The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. Nice to meet you. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I'd never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside his office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why is there an reincarnation? Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh, no, I mean, sorry. I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be... Yeah, it's Cosma, isn't it? It's somehow fucking Cosma. He didn't actually die.
Ah, yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nymphonese man, is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters. Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he's very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runo.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to suspend investigating the case. Thank you for the advice, and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Sosuke-san, after an Impanese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. I mean, it would be fucking funny. Well, you see, the great Ace Attorney, Kiryu here, is actually Kazuma is actually the Kiryu Kazuma. This is just the 1800s version of, okay, I could see that, right? You could see that, right? Like, a Yakuza gang member going over to Britain for some reason like that, and they're at the World's Fair, and now you're having this crazy abroad plot where it's fucking like Kazuma's or Kiryu's fucking ancestor, but now the setting is this giant World's Fair with a bunch of weird technology about and everything, and you're just beating up random British thugs at the World's Fair. There we go. You know what? There we go. Spinoff. We're looking at you. New Yakuza spinoff. Let's go.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
Mad scientist? Ah, you mean Professor Hairbrain? Yeah, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. But yeah, okay. I am now very kind of, this is fucking Kazuma. And that's why he's wearing a mask, so we don't identify him. Did he lose his memory when he fell and hit his head? Because I think we saw him sitting like this. Like, because this is like one of those low tables, and that's how they would sit, whatever it's fucking called. The one was like warm underneath. And I think that's how we saw him sitting when he was like going over his sword. So there's going to be some point where we like give him back his sword and his soul comes back to him and he goes, "Oh, I remember who I am." God damn it. Alright. I'm calling it now. This is Kazuma. Easy. And if it's not, oh well, fuck it. Who cares? But that's my bet. My bet that's Kazuma. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
Good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all around nice fellow, really.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Van Zeeks. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Runo.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zeeks family with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had quite such a noble blood.
Little darling?
It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yeah, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, it really doesn't have the heart to tell him about Lord Van Zeeks, who'll be the prosecutor in court tomorrow.
What's that? Sorry, I read your mind. I'm doing the Susie thing.
So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday was an accident, you're saying? And you had no intention to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct?
That's correct as 2 squared is 4. I swear it. Yes, it's true the man's perished in my machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, it's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that, all my life.
I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories, but I do believe you, and will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law, that's all I know. You have to believe in me, please.
When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Thank you for that, Professor.
Then thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
All right, Runo. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Ugh. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. I've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times, too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage, where the explosion happened yesterday.
What? Hey, Sunshine, what are you doing here?
What's that? I can hear voices from on the stage. It sounds like an argument.
What? I'm at it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh, yeah? Go on, Inspector. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, now I know those voices.
I'll take a little milk on you, young lady. But a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare you. If you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo, Gregsy, what are you doing up there?
Oh. Ah, it's you. Here, you're here. Here you are, your ladyship. How are you, your ladyship? I hope you're well, your ladyship.
Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and have a word with you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be.
Watch it, Sunshine!
Sorry?
What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yeah, acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Dear me. That's the situation, is it?
Is it really that troubling?
A measly 5 bob? Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? You should stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is.
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for it all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket, or driver, born and bred on the East End of London. In the case that led me to my suspension 6 months ago. This is a young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, Odo? Driver, pickpocket. What's with all the name calling? You want to bag up chips around down your throat and all, do you?
I thought you'd probably be a driver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you've been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. After years been a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be Scotland Yard detective. So you'll have to call me what everyone else does. An Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. 997.
Leon? Inspector Pop is entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Alright, sir.
This raises a lot of questions.
Oh look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth.
Huh? It's not like any fabric I've seen before. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn.
A piece of green cloth has been entered to the court record. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look. Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too.
Well, I suppose it was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Bruno. Ah, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped? Or hid? What's this? Some sort of machine that exploded? Kinda looks like a crossbow.
Maybe it could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. The mysterious contraption has been entered. That's a crossbow, right? Yeah, got it. No, don't mind me, Gina. Just picking up a lethal weapon. It's fine. The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass in the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower.
Apparently, everyone's taken to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what the policeman I just spoke to said.
I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Oh yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you'll have been in London a year, Bruno. It's time you got used to your measurements. Even though they won't be that for long in Britain anymore, and only the shitty Americans will keep that system. Everyone else will go to meters as well, but oh well.
Yes. Well, one thing is, the thing is so tall. The spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
It's probably thought they secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. The stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Wait, not now. No, I didn't talk to Gina yet. The Great Exhibition Grounds. Experimentation stage. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up.
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell that burning frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time, he made something that exploded with such force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you had been there to see it, Bruno.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Oh, look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Yeah, hold up. I didn't even talk to Gina yet. How do we go back down? Or can I not go back down now? Did I somehow miss a huge chunk of conversation? I guess it wouldn't have let me come down here if it didn't matter, right? Gina was just there holding the fort, I guess? Because I don't even see stairs or a way to navigate back. Could I... There we go. Okay. Let's see. Anything else before I move on? No, I think we're good here. Okay. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with the case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was, that I even weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
Who got it? Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade? Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's old man to think about.
Iris's father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Just a small promise, then. Nothing serious.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how I came to go to the test for the Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem, nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Gregson and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
That's what that was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So, the long and short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Oh, what, Bruno, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty. And yet, here she is, still.
Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper of whatever it's called? Cord, you don't have to worry, Otto.
If I didn't half worry, there's probably someone to be a whole lot left of you. There wouldn't be a whole lot left of you.
It's like I told you before, isn't it? The Reaper is kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That's what I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Might be stretching the point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine.
The Reaper only kills people who get off by fudging the system. People who actually properly get off, he doesn't care about.
Cord, it was at this world it was. The brainy Brook pulled a bunch of levers on his machine, and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Just when it went pop, I ain't seen about experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean.
The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is that I'm out on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start?
No. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is if the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Alright, well, it was a success in a way.
It was? How can it have been? How could it have been? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
It's like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a whole load of smoke and that whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the Crystal Tower over there.
What? In the tower?
You can see for yourself, can't ya? Up above the scaffold. Oh, where are all the glasses broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with. Ready to get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right, with science? Oh, I'll tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan for the experiment they drew up in the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I've had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you. Did I? Sketch experiment and add. I can't find anything out of place. Until we flip it over. It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Shulman's method, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, that's a crossbow. Yeah. But considering I have nothing that shines up on it, which means I can't investigate it yet, Which means it doesn't want me knowing this information yet. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. Oh, it's worth anyway. Investigating is up the cards for all of us.
Yes, naughty old Gregsy ran off rather than without explaining himself. Alright, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate either.
Why?
What did the boss call them again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, pot from them lot. No one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit?
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard of something like this before.
I thought I could have a gander at the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before you got down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair.
I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all of them chips that what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Odo. Go on, see if you can get him through to him.
He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Bruno? Gregsy will listen to us.
Okay, now I can go up. William and Turner? You mean the Pirates of the Caribbean guy? It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air?
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think you were to pull this lever.
Stop! Don't touch that!
Ha ha ha, that was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew out from over there, Gregsy.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
Oh, so sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, that really is wonderful. It's just like old times. This is. We're representing Professor Harebrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So, we should be allowed to examine the scene. Oh, this ain't sunshine. Even though I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. Oops. Is that blasted special dispensation for scientific equipment act to blame? It's driving me potty. Oh, yes, that special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too. More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we?
There.
Surely that's alright, isn't it, Gregsy?
Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you?
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Bruno?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, yeah? I wouldn't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
Hey, ass, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, sunshine. If it were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly. And annoying, obtrusive, flaming rules.
Oh, look at the base of that machine there.
Oh, yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver in the shape of an A, I think.
Oh, isn't it lovely one? It handles in the shape of a capital letter A. It almost looks exactly like an arrow and the tip stained with blood. It must have been fired out of the crossbow.
Oh my god, that's what this is, isn't it? It's not a fucking... This is a fucking crossbow bolt. It is? Oh, yes, you're right.
What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes?
Yes, I understand, sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit.
But Gregsy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Bruno found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly.
He's gone off with it.
Huh. It's that very mean. That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Poor Gregsy. There are all sorts of strange buildings over there in the Greek exhibition grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Runo? I do wish I could go and see it. I'd present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Baratitsu master? Baritsu master ninjas.
You might not find as many of the sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well that's dull.
Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a chronomage top knot I could introduce you to. A chronomage. No, a chronomage. Oh man, Chrono Trigger strikes again.
A cron mage, really?
I'm not even sure if that's how you're supposed to say that. Chamagi? Oh, that's right. It's the E is gonna be the A. So it's probably like Kamage.
A Kamage, really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. Maybe Chanmage? Well, what is that gigantic thing over there? Looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you can see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning? But it looks completely still.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Runo.
That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they are shot out of that thing to wherever they're going?
I don't think it's supposed to shoot anything, Runo. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower, where they're reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? So those people up there are carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly, but I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful, floating Tamari handballs.
I'm sure it must feel amazing, being up there among the clouds. Let's make it right together, Runo, please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it, but without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh well, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. Get over it. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
Yes. Call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little bit. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across the crystal tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the old spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it means Britain more powerful in the future, you see. Yeah, I suppose that's true, in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They're making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Right through developing it to a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers ain't allowed to touch the crime scene. Touch the crime scene? Because the new highfalutin special dispensation for scientific equipment act forbids it. Ah, I see now. They're worried about you stealing the patent. The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've been delegated to keeping guard. The Forensic Investigation Team? Any old fool could see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do our flaming thing with it.
Poor Gregsy. He's very head up, isn't he?
Remind me again, what's the new legal act that means you're not allowed to touch the scene here? I haven't at me, sunshine. It's a special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
Oh, yes. I think Hurley mentioned that recently. With a real twinkle in his eye, I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for the great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suit for civil services. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exposition. Although, a good half of them will be a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's also fun.
It might be fun for you, but remember, the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You'd soon think otherwise after spending the day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions.
But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there's a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas, if any theory or invention is seen to show potential, the government's hands at a research grant.
The scientists get funding?
Exactly. And what's more what they're after, all these shammers coming far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. Now you can see war, I see it now. Can't ya? Hang science. Hang it.
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
I'm
Apparently, Professor Harebrain lives and works for Germany now, conducting his research.
That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants.
Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks.
What's that? That's news to me. What if Van Zeek spans the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is...
Sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another?
Blimey, that man's beyond me. I wonder what goes into the head of his. Talking of Van Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh, yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, a Reaper, huh? How long's that business been going to keep up, I wonder?
The victim of the case, the inventor Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard.
Lord Barrett von Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win.
Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it?
Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court.
Although the man himself denies the charge.
Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of the people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'll stake my reputation on it.
Oh my god, it's the judge. If that were true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have so coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I mean, it's not the judge. It's probably the what's his name? He's killing people that he knows are getting off, even though they've illegally done it. It's probably, maybe it's Male Strongheart who's doing it. He's just fucking offing people who he knows are guilty even after they get off, just to keep up the Reaper's moniker. Maybe. Could also be something else. But.
I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? What's the whole point of the Reaper?
Professor Harebrain mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zeeks was a totally different person, easygoing and kind.
Ew, what?
He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was?
No clue.
Really?
Look, I got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh?
As a detective, what do you make of this?
Personally speaking, 9 times out of 10 I find clues turn out to be red herrings. So there's every chance that's totally irrelevant.
That's actually a fairly persuasive argument. Alright, same thing. Okay. Alright, that's everything talked with him. I think I investigated this thoroughly enough as we're allowed to. Oh, he's not here anymore. Okay. Can't converse with them either. He's gone. No one's there either. Gina, would you take a look at... Oh, where'd it go?
Looking for this, Odo.
When did you do that?
I wonder if you got anything else to show me, eh? What do you reckon?
Get that back first, please. Okay. Okay, so it's not showing Gina anything. That's where the cove ended up after.
That's where the cove ended up after this instant telekinesis, or whatever they call it. Dead, of course.
And yet they're calling the experiment a success.
What's the wooden scaffold over there for? The coppers or the ads set that up after the incident happened. They get the body down, I think. Don't know really.
Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then?
Nah, look at duty's more my thing. Wandering around the expedition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff.
Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged the gap by some sort of invisible kinesis?
Bruno, listen.
What? What is it?
I've been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
Huh? About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounded like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at this moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket?
Madame Tuspells.
Is this supposed to mean something?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Bruno.
Madame Tuspells. I don't know if this could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened. And when they do happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Alright, before we continue, I'm going to take a quick bathroom, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Madame Tuspells Museum of Waxworks. Oh, okay. Well, if we're investigating wax statues, then obviously either what ended up in the thing as dead or what went in the teleporter itself was a wax. Okay, well. If we're doing that, then okay. So clearly, someone who went in wasn't a real thing, or was replaced at the last second or whatever. Yada yada yada. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes, but why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murders. I know what I've been dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
That guy on the right who's sitting in the chair looks kind of familiar with a giant scarf around his neck. Don't know where I've seen that before, but I don't remember if it was this. Was he a juror at some point?
What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
Wax models? I read about the dead bodies in wax once, in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called adipocure, or whatever the fuck.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me.
Ah, yes, the one police officer that was falling asleep. Yeah. But I think this guy over here is much older. Maybe we'll find out it's his father or something like that. Ah!
What now?
I just remembered something else I read. Another magazine about a strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh.
There's no way anybody would make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh, no. I must be seeing things. I love how the first thing is just a hand poking out. Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the Waxworks models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Bruno, stop scaring me.
It's a wax arm. Or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection! That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling that there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, that's the famous Spells special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee to have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
These models are so well made. I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe it's all the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing all the time and the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Ugh. I just start thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already. I was on my way home. Nope, that's part of the same one.
Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder. What is it? Is something wrong?
No, it's just that in Japanese, we have a totally different word for a ladder that folds in half like that.
We do in English too, you know. It's a step ladder, or just steps. So be careful of making assumptions about other cultures, Bruno. That's how wars are started.
I didn't realize step ladders were an international point of contention. But the writer makes an astute point. The writer, get out of here. Ugh. Is this an example of Western Sujigiri?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when the unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test a sword?
I still don't know. No. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Reno? Doing that Sujigiri thing you mentioned?
Well, I do have a sword, but I've no intention on testing how sharp it is on human subject. For now, at least. His pose keeps changing, I think. It's the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? No, come on, we know it's him.
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know.
But
look, Bruno, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't even move a muscle.
You can't go around kicking the exhibit's iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
Huh? Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over here, look! There's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes? I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick. Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me.
But Bruno has something he needs to ask you.
Ah, a question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes before being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you have just saved the world from unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, I do like when you talk nonsense, don't you?
He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zeeks, and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For your own luck, I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually I'm in quite a hurry. If my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something's afoot at the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it's related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. What? After being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Okay. I might have to... Oh. I think I'm going to... Excuse me. We're over 2 hours right now. And this is going to be going on for a bit. And it's almost 2 hours again until I'm going to be picking up stream again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save here. And we'll finish going over the waxwork and talking to Mr. Sholmes. And then we'll start the beginning of the next case. But that will be on the second half of the stream, which will be in about 2 hours from now. I'll be back, get some food in me, relax my voice a little bit, get it ready again, and then we'll probably do another 3 or more hours again later today as we finish the rest of this part and the first half of the trial. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I said, I'll be back in 2 hours, and see you all then. I might as well just save.